Good evening, everyone. Jewel here with your tropical update. I told you in the earlier update today I was very concerned about 95L. Well, in the 2 o'clock update here, it is time for everyone in the island areas. It's time to prepare. This thing is ramping up. Now, we're not going to talk about that little yellow X. You guys in the island areas there are already experiencing thunderstorms and some gusty, breezy winds now and then already. But as of 2 o'clock, the showers and thunderstorms associated with this broad low pressure area and tropical wave is about 1,300 miles east-southeast of the Windward Islands. Now, it has become better organized since yesterday. However, though, the recent satellite and wind data indicates that the disturbance does not have a well-defined circulation. Now, don't let that throw you off, okay? The environmental conditions appear generally favorable for continued development, and a tropical depression or storm is likely to form during the next day or two while this system moves west-northwestward around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Now, all interest in the Lesser Antilles should closely monitor the progress of this system, as advisories on a potential tropical cyclone accompanied by tropical storm watches for portions of this area are likely to be issued later today. I'm thinking tonight maybe, okay? Now, earlier it looked like this would come through on Friday. I'm thinking it may be Saturday, it may be Sunday. We're going to have to wait and see. But the formation chance is 70% in 2 days, 90% in 5 days. It's very, very high, and it's coming your way. I've been studying models all morning and waiting on some to update. Now, the NCMP Ensemble, this is all of the weather models put together of what they think may happen. This is from 0 to a 48-hour period. You can see the system right here. And you can see it is going to intensify. This is the chance that they're giving it to intensify in 48 hours from now. Looking like it still could split and come up the East Coast, or it still could go over and get in the Caribbean and come up in the Gulf. Look at all the different places it could go. Now, the GFS model is showing it going into Florida. Well, it's not going to hit anything in the U.S. probably in at least 8 or 9 days. Now, anything's possible and it could change, but that's just being realistic. If it changes, I don't mind telling you, okay? But this is what it's looking like in the 48-hour period. As we move along here, let this warm up right quickly. Come on, come on, come on. As we move along in time to 120 hours out, it's still a big cluster's going to come through here. You guys on the islands are going to get this. A big cluster's going to come through here, looking like it could clip the western end of Puerto Rico. That's just a small chance, though, right now. You have to remember, I can't stress it enough, these things change, and it's going to change, and we're just going to have to keep our eyes on it. Big cluster still coming up into the Gulf, some of it taking it up into Louisiana, some of it taking it up around Florida. Florida's got it either way on both sides in 120 hours of where it could go. Now, when we go out in time from 120 hours to 240 hours, we see that it's already come up. They have it forecasting look like it possibly still could come up the east side, or still could get in the Gulf and come up on the west side and go up and over. As a matter of fact, even one of them has it going over my house. Only time will tell. We're going to have to wait and see after it gets in the Caribbean what it does. As of yesterday, the 29th, all of the global tropic hazards outlook does have this making up, folks, as the development of a tropical cyclone, depression, storm, or greater strength right in this area, as you can see. Now, I've been waiting for the HMON to update. It's finally updated. We're at the 3rd hour. I'm using this from Tropical Tidbits. Thank you, Levi, for letting us use this. As I go through, you can see where it's at. It's a low pressure system. The barometric pressure in 9-hour forecast, 1,004 millibars. Moving along, you can see them slowly but surely drop, come back up, then drop again. As I think in a little while, probably tonight, this circulation will start showing up even better. This morning in the satellite, I saw a little circulation, showed it to you, but it's died down. Now, moving right along, it's going to be hard to see, but I want to try to show you guys, if I can, as we move along in time. You can see now the pressure's down to 988 millibars, and we've got more isobars around it beginning to compact up. Well, that's not a good sign. You can see it's a big rainmaker, got lots of rain in it. Now, here we have, well, let's go up one more notch here, if I can. Here we have the island chain. It's hard to see, but it's right here. And it's looking like over around maybe Bridgetown or Barbados, you might get the eye. I'm not saying you're going to. I'm not saying that you might not get it. It looks like with this particular model that you could. Please let me warn you, if it does go over you, the eye, the sun's going to come out. You're going to think it's over. But don't go outside, because it's not going to be over. It's going to still come right back. If you have a barometer, watch it. Do not go outside after your barometer has fallen to its lowest point. Do not go outside for at least an hour until that barometer starts to rise. Just be safe. Then you can see it's going over the island area here. And then it's moving on out. I know this map's a little hard to see, but this is a good model to try to keep up with, okay? That's the main points right there I wanted to show you guys, because I'm going to show you other things and other models. But on this particular model, I wanted to show you that. Now you can see as we're moving on along, how far will this go up? There's the Dominican Republic. You guys are going to get some of it too. Moving right along. We're almost to the end, moving off. And this is it. It just gets down to hardly nothing. Now, you know, most of the time, this time of the year, if you want to look at it climatologically, most of these storms for this time of the year, moving into the Eastern Caribbean, they usually fall apart a lot of times. And that's due to the strong trade winds, and that creates a sinking air. That's what causes that. But you know, this season already is running neck to neck with 2020 so far as systems. Now, another one of my models that I really like is the Navy model, the NavGem model. I mean, they got to know what's going on, right? So let's just click this through. You see a timestamp. It only goes through 180 hours, but let's see what happens. There's that little system that's going on today, and it's going to fizzle out. Here comes 97L right in here. It's got it intensifying just like the HMON did. Got it close to Barbados down here, going over the island chain. Remember how the barometric pressure went up and down and up and down? This does look like it could become a tropical storm, and you guys need to get ready for it. Then it goes down again, and then it begins to go on westward. Not showing much, staying south of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic on this model, but Jamaica. See, it's up in the air, folks. We're going to have to take it update by update, day by day. Everybody keep your eyes on it. Jamaica, you could feel a little of this as it skirts by you here. Moving on up, looking now like it really don't know what it wants to do. These aren't isobars around it. This is just wind. This is wind, but it's not isobars. So we're going to have to watch and see what happens with it. And this is at 180 hours. When it gets out in the Gulf, if it does go this way, it is going to ramp up. Now, I'm over at My Fox Hurricane. Thank you guys for letting us use this. I'm over here because I can get more models up for you to see, okay? This is not the GFS, the Euro, or any other model. This is the plain WRF model. This measures the wind vectors at sea level. It only goes out 72 hours. So you see the system right in here trying to get itself together. We're moving along. It does become a little better organized, as you can see. And it's looking like it's trying already to be, it's looking like probably in the next few hours, I'd say 24 to 48, it will be a tropical storm, probably, if not shortly thereafter. As it moves on through, you can see it goes up and down in strength. And this is strictly for wind. The sea pressure and the wind vectors at the sea pressure level. And this has it also looking like going over Bridgetown, Barbados, going over the island areas, as you can see. There it is, right there. Let's get it on up to 72 hours. At one point there, it looked like it became a hurricane, and then it came back down a little. Here we are at 72 hours, south of, according to the WRF, south of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic at this time on the WRF model. Now we need to check out the waves, okay? This is the wind direction, and the wind direction is primarily just about the same on all of the models, but this will check out the wave action going on. This was the little system that you're experiencing today, probably some of tonight before it all gets gone. But here comes the bad guy. That's what I call it. Here comes the bad guy right in here. See that red? That's 30 to 35 foot waves, folks, okay? The yellow, anywhere from 9 to 12. The orange, 18 to 24. Now you know why I'm telling you to get right and to go ahead. And it still has it south of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. However, though, folks, you guys are going to get some rain out of it at some point, and you're liable to have some gusty winds. Who knows what will happen in the end? I'm going to keep up with this. I'm just showing you what it looks like now as it moves on along. And we're up to 156 hours, and it has it up here now. So let's go check out something else. Wind shear, wind shear. Remember me telling you earlier today, there's not going to be that much dry air that mixes in with it. That's why it's going to have this great opportunity. And there's not going to be that much wind shear for a while unless it does reach the Gulf. Then it may get into some wind shear. But it's just like the first system that everybody on the island areas, that little system that's bringing you rain and some gusty winds today, it's making a path for this to go through. It's taking all the other stuff that would keep this one from ramping up. It's making a path for it. That's what it's like almost. Down in these areas, as you can see. 5, that ain't going to do nothing to that storm, okay? 5-mile-per-hour winds. Now, as we move on along, this only goes up to 72 hours. We do start to see a little bit of shear wind come in, anywhere from around 20 to 30 miles per hour. That is why on the HMON model that you saw and the other models, the barometric pressure kept going up and down, because it was coming into some of this shear wind. Now we will run this on up to around 72 hours, as far out as it goes, 72 hours from now. And we'll see what it's looking like. Okay, now. And see, the shear winds, what's going to help the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico and the northern island chain later down the road to be safer. That's a good thing. Once it starts to get out in here again, it's going to ramp up in speed again. Now, if it does take the course to come up here, once it gets over Cuba, that's where the United States has really got to start watching it. Because it can go this way or it can go this way. And I said that last week sometime. I don't remember which video it was, a couple of them I think, but that's why the GFS is picking up, along with these other models, it could ramp back up, okay? Now, some of them even had it going over towards Louisiana, remember? Well, there's no shear wind over here either, so we've got to keep checking that. At this point, it really doesn't matter if it's the Euro or the GFS or the this and the that. We've seen it on the WRF, which is the wind monitor for hurricanes. We've seen it blow up. We've seen what happened. So, right here, you see 36-mile-per-hour max winds. That's what's going on with this system. It's not calibrating the winds in this low. Only this system here is what it's calibrating, okay? So we're going to run this through. You can see right there now 36-mile-per-hour winds moving right along. Let's zip it on up here. See what it looks like when it gets close to Barbados. 81-mile-per-hour winds. They may be that high. They may be higher. They may be lower. That's why I'm telling you guys, prepare right now. Just in case. I mean, you know, this is a hurricane at this point. It ain't a tropical storm anymore. Now, moving on along as it goes over the island chain, 84-mile-per-hour winds. You see it right there. Be prepared. We'll hope for the best, and if the worst comes, we'll be ready if you prepare for it. Now, it's still looking like you guys will get a little wind up in these areas around Puerto Rico, maybe 30, 35 mile per hour, but nothing compared to 90-mile-per-hour winds that the storm passes over. As we move a little more out here, we'll get up around the Dominican Republic. You guys are going to feel some wind, and maybe the western section, you might get some rain and wind out of this. It's not quite over you. It's right on the western section of your coastline there at this point. Jamaica. Now, so far as this goes, this is the streamline winds with the sea level pressure, okay? Looking like it's going to go north of you right now, but that doesn't mean anything. It could change. You know how all of this can change. You still could feel some wind. You still could get some rain. This is looking like it's going to go over Canada. It should, Canada, it's Cuba, excuse me. That should weaken it some, and it does, as you can see, as we move on out. Now, this is the GFS, and this is the one that is taking it all the way up to Florida. Now, you can see these winds as it's right off the coastline, 73 miles per hour. 68 miles per hour, 58 miles per hour, 53 miles per hour, and it's beginning to diminish down. You can see, then it hops back up once a little bit of it gets back over in this water and close to the Gulf Stream currents as it moves off of Florida. It stays in the 70s. It remains a hurricane. Moving right on up to my neck of the woods with 68 mile per hour winds. We're going to have to wait and see now if this all plays out to be true. But one thing for sure, you guys in the island areas, you are going to get it coming up probably late Friday, Saturday night, or early Sunday morning. Once again, I can't stress this enough, okay? All interest in the Lesser Antilles should closely monitor the progress of this system, as advisories on a potential tropical cyclone accompanied by tropical storm watches for portions of this area are likely to be issued later today. I'm thinking later tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow morning you'll get them. Please be aware and please stay safe. Thanks so much for watching. This is one of these videos. If you would please share this video with your friends, your family, and on your social media or through email. I would greatly appreciate it, because 97L is probably more than likely 99.9% chance of becoming Elsa. I would go as far as 100% at this time. That's what it's looking like. Whether it will remain a tropical storm or turn into a hurricane, once it passes through and down below south of the Dominican Republic, if that track is correct, and gets into the Caribbean, it may diminish. It may just blow up again once it gets in the Gulf Stream, or either on the eastern side of Florida and gets into the Gulf Stream current waters. So please share this information. If you haven't subscribed, you're into the weather, thank you so much if you do so. Click the J7409 insignia at the bottom right hand corner. Click that bell and check off all for all my latest videos. Be safe, my friends. Have a good day, a safe day, and a blessed day, and upcoming blessed days. Peace, love, and kindness to all. Thanks for watching.